G'day guys, welcome back to the final instalment of our KLR and V-Strom adventure series. In this one, I'm taking you to a bit of a locals only spot just off the lake. It's surprisingly beautiful and the perfect place to head down for a refresh, maybe have some lunch and just enjoy the view. We do have a bit of an unlucky mishap with one of the bikes along the way, but it all comes together in the end. And I'll show you also what I reckon is the best spot on Lake Glenmaggie for families to spend out on the sand, go for a swim and spend the day by the water. Now a quick bit about the lake itself. Lake Glenmaggie was first built back in the 1920s and later expanded to become one of the main irrigation storages in the region. Water from here flows out through Glenmaggie Weir, feeding to the McAllister Irrigation District and helping farms across Gippsland stay green and productive all year round. But enough about the lake, let's go check out this secret spot. So this is that secret bit I was talking about, guys. Doesn't really have a name for the road. But you can bring the kids and the family down here and have a swim if you don't mind swimming in the creek. This one just is off the lake, Lake Glenmaggie. Not quite sure of the name, but I'll figure it out when I get home. But again, you can bring your cars down here, park against the water and just go for a lovely swim. Well guys, we just rode into this little secret spot. I'll put it on a map, show you where it is. It's really good for the kids. It's even good if you just want to come down and have a little bit of a swim. There's a bit of a walking track that goes up there. Can't quite remember, but up on the right there's some rocks. So you can jump in and then you'll just float down to here. Yeah, you can just come down here and refresh and get all the dust off your face like we just did. I mean, it's only, I think it was 25 today down in Victoria. Perfect day. It's yeah, a concrete walkway, but that's one of the many hidden gems around Lake Glenmaggie and Hayfield. So we'll head out of here and we will check out Sandy Point, which is bloody beautiful as well. Oh, she's digging in. Nice. I'm going to do the world's biggest circle. Or not. Yeah. So that was just one of the many little gems you can find around the lake. Anyway, we started heading back up the beaten track, but keep in mind, our tyres were still fully inflated for road use, which was a bit of a lazy mistake that ended up costing us. It made the dirt a lot slipperier and meant we had less give through the tyres, sending every bump and knock straight into the suspension. And of course, Ed didn't see the tree root that caught him out. Ooh, look at that root. You destroyed it. Big tree root. There.
Hey!
Dropped the front straight into another root, smacking the tyre hard and almost throwing him off the bike. After taking a second to gather himself, he went to take off again, but straight away noticed something wasn't quite right. Oh no. I had a quick look but couldn't see anything obvious. When he rolled forward again though, there was definitely something amiss. So we gingerly made our way up and out until we could stop across the road for a better look. Doesn't look like anything. Nothing obvious. Yeah. Front brakes. Front brakes. Maybe the clamps come loose. After a bit of inspecting, we found he'd actually knocked loose a few bolts holding his head stem bearings in place. That left some back and forth play in the handlebars. Without the right tools on us, the only option was for him to limp it home. So Ed took off towards town to get sorted for the slow trip back. But I still had one more amazing spot I wanted to show you. We agreed I'd hang back a little just in case something went wrong and he needed to call. So after a bit of a mission, let's head to Sandy Point.
They can sneak up there and just sort of take a spot. But usually it's not up this high. You can drive down there and all across where the water is here, it's all sand. You can just park your car on the sand as long as you've got a four-wheel drive, like what these guys have done. Yeah, they've got their little Barbie. They've obviously taken their boat out. Jet skiing, boating. See, even over across the other side there, basically you come out of here where we just went, you do a right, and you got all that area there. You can also have a swim. The only thing over there is it's lots of tree roots and it's mud, whereas here is sand. So we will quickly throw the drone up. I'll actually show you. It's freshwater lake. It gets drained and goes to the farmers and things like that. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up. But before you stir up the bottom of the water, it's actually quite nice, like it's see-through. Don't know how well you're going to be able to see. But yeah, sandy bottom. And usually, you know, near the end of summer, it's quite nice and warm. But this is one of the sort of, I guess you'd call it a cove. So in this whole area, It's that speed limit for the boats, you're not allowed to go over it till you head out. So Lacola is way over the back there. I think it's half an hour drive to Lacola. And all through there's your high country, four-wheel driving, like where we were, but we were sort of more east. But I'll quickly, won't keep Ed waiting, so we'll throw the drone up, have a look around, and then hot foot it back to Hayfield. So that wraps up this 3-part mini-series with these two awesome bikes. We got to take in some incredible scenery, tackle a few tracks, and just enjoy being out in the bush. Now the Gen 2 Kawasaki KLR 650 pumping out around 40 horsepower through its 5-speed box really surprised me. That single-cylinder engine just chugs along all day. It handled a good 2 hours of highway riding comfortably enough, especially with the taller aftermarket windscreen and throttle lock. Once we hit the dirt, it turned into a big heavy dirt bike. Simple, reliable, and ready for just about anything. It's a no-frills do-it-all machine, but you've got to remember it's heavier and has less suspension travel than a proper dirt bike. Drop it on a steep rocky hill and things could get tricky pretty quick. On the other hand, the V-Strom 650 sounds a bit more exciting on paper. Twin cylinder, 67 horsepower and a 6-speed gearbox. It sat on the highway beautifully, helped by its tall windscreen and throttle lock for those longer rides. This one's running a set of Karoo 4s and they felt great. Plenty of grip and confidence on the dirt. It did bottom out a few more times than the KLR, but went everywhere it did with minimal fuss. We just had to remind ourselves not to push the suspension too far. After all, these aren't enduro bikes. All up, the track we rode was fairly modest, but it was a perfect test to see if these bikes could do it. If you're thinking about picking up either of these, you've just seen that both can handle a full day, highway runs, dirt roads, and a bit of rough stuff without too much drama. Just make sure when you get home, you give the bikes a proper once-over. Check your air filter, clean and lube the chain, top up your oil, and tighten any bolts that might have loosened off from the rough terrain. Then you'll be ready to go again. If you enjoyed this video, click on the one at the end. I'll be seeing how the KLR stacks up against a brand new KTM 890 Adventure. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little series. Check out my Instagram and TikTok, ride safe, and I'll catch you in my mirrors.